As somebody who actually voted for 44 the first term, I never thought that I'd get to a point in my life where I would just get fuck tired of seeing him. Am I the only one? I get tired of seeing his face. With everything that I learned about this man, I just get tired of seeing him. He's always on the scene. You don't see Bush doing none of this shit. It's always him. He's always talking about what the Democrat Party need to do. Now he's talking about that they need to stop whining and they need to do something about Trump. Shut your bitch ass up.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today, Warriors. Woo! We got to talk about Barack Hussein Obama. That's right. Barack says that gay men need to be in the lives of young folks, of young men or children. Did he actually say that? We got to unpack some things today because, you know, if you have discernment, you have been seeing warning signs over the course of Barack Hussein Obama being in the spotlight. Before we get into this video, don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications, stick around to the end. Let's get into it. All right, so I saw this, right? And this comes by way of Barack's wife, Michelle Obama's podcast that she has with her brother, in my opinion. And he said some very interesting things. But before we get right into that, we're going to look through the history of the former president.
First, though, morning to you. Let the controversy begin. Newsweek magazine is making a splash with its new cover. It labels President Obama the first gay president. In the cover story, gay blogger Andrew Sullivan says that the president's decision to support same-sex marriage shouldn't have come as a surprise, because if you look at his record, he writes, it was 3 years in the making. Well, the president's new public stance was a huge topic from the Sunday morning pulpit. African-American pastors were a huge base of support for the president when he ran in 2008. Now, some seem torn about it.
People I know, people have come up to me are saying that they don't support this, they don't like this, they're disappointed with the president, and they plan to stay home.
You can marry without the church.
Right.
You can marry without religion and a ritual. Of course, within the context of the faith, we do marry, but it's a civil issue, and you can marry and divorce without the church.
Well, the president's expected to talk more about same-sex marriage today when Ricky Martin hosts an LGBT fundraiser for President Obama.
President Obama said early on when he was running for office and throughout that he was not for gay marriage. He then evolved his position on gay marriage. I said at the time, there's another word for evolving your position. You are lying about your position. You were full of crap to begin with. That opposition to gay marriage was particularly strong in the black church. And so that was one of the reasons that they decided back in 2008 when he was running for office that he would pretend to be against gay marriage. Axelrod is partly saying this to show, hey, all of you that thought that Obama had the wrong position on gay marriage, well, now that the majority of the country is in favor of gay marriage, we feel it is safe enough to tell you he was secretly with you all along. They're trying to take credit for this.
Define marriage. I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman. Now, for me as a Christian,
See, but that's why he lied, because of that thunderous applause from that Christian audience. Understand, this is what politicians do. So in his mind, he's thinking, of course I'm for gay marriage, of course. But a pastor, Rick Warren, and all the Christian audience here was about to give me applause. And now you know he had discussions with his advisors. They debated what kind of lie they would tell. And the lie they settled on was, gay people, please give me your vote. Republicans are worse. And plus, I'll give you civil unions. Christians, please give me your vote because, come on, gay people aren't the same as us straight people, right? We're not going to let them get married. Polling us stronger. And now we're at a point, as I said, that we're in the majority of Americans believe. And that's part of why Axelrod is coming out now. Oh, yeah, majority, we were with you all the way. Yes. Which way did the wind blow? Okay, good. Yes, we were on that side, right? If you thought President Obama was a different kind of politician, this is a bit of bad news for you, right? You are a greasy politician who was lying about it for your own political benefit.
All right, so we saw history there of the former President Barack Hussein Obama. And I remember when he said that in 2008. And he said it in front of a Christian audience. That was Rick Warren with the thunderous applause that he said, you know, marriage is between a man and a woman. And Rick Warren is the pastor, or was the pastor at that time, over Saddleback Church in California. And he's the author of The Purpose-Driven Life and all of that. But, you know, he had to say that because it was like, wait a minute, I need the Christian vote, the Black Christian vote. And I also need to appeal to the gay folks. And if you were paying attention during his entire presidency, both terms, a lot of attention was given to that community, which is how it is to this day. The Democrat Party always panders to minorities. They pretend to pander to Black folks, but we didn't get anything out of the deal. That is why you will see Black people who voted for former President Obama the first time, but did not vote for him the second time.
Michelle Obama, whatever her brother name is, and Barack Obama to bring their asses to the front of the congregation, because we have something to talk about. Now, I believe that first, let's get the elephant out of the room. Michelle Obama's brother is the weirdest looking dude I've ever seen in my life. We just gonna leave it at that. His mannerisms, the way he speaks, the way he moves his mouth is just weird to me. Let's move that to the side. All right, now, Barack Obama has lost the young Blacks. We're gone. We don't believe anything this man says. And like 3-4 months ago, when he decided to tell Black men that they should 100% vote for Kamala, was the last straw for us, right? Now, I'm not speaking for all Black American men, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure that most of us feel the same, especially about that weird situation, right? Telling us who we should vote for and why. Now, with that being said, this conversation that they were having shows you the insight of what Democrats think of everybody, right? They think that they're in control, and as soon as they start to realize that they're not in control of the people anymore, they start to panic, like Barack Obama. See, he's blaming how men today aren't simping anymore. We aren't going for the okie doke from women anymore. Not that we hate women and we're violent against women. No. We just see the truth now, right? And I believe that first we got to start here, right? So politicians are not real people, okay? They don't go to the same grocery stores. They didn't go to the same schools. They didn't live how we lived, right? So if you ask me, a politician will never truly understand you. Somehow Barack Obama tricked Black America into, he made us believe that he was one of us. And I'm here to tell you that Barack Obama is not Black. Barack Obama is not a Black American like I am. Barack Obama is not a foundational Black. His father is a Kenyan and his mother is a white woman. They met in college. So Barack Obama is a first generation African American who cosplays a foundational Black. I hope that didn't go over your head. Now, Michelle Obama is a foundational Black, but she's part of the Black bourgeoisie, right? The upper class of Blacks who look down on the niggas. Hope that makes sense. But them having this conversation opens the doors and shows you that they have lost their power, right? They lost their power. Not only that, I mean, look at how awkward they all are. Look at how awkward Michelle and Barack are. I'm starting to believe the rumors. This was a political marriage, and they fooled all of us, because I voted for this fool the first time. Second time, I did not vote for him. So what do you guys think about this? Like, how do you guys feel about the Obamas in general? Because I've been off them. I have a Facebook post from 2016. It's like 5 paragraphs going crazy on Obama, because I started to realize how fake he was, how fake the Democratic Party was.
That man woke up. He had a wake-up call. But I'm proud to say I never voted for Barack Hussein Obama. Instead, I did the righteous thing. I voted for some rhinos instead. But Barack Obama said something quite interesting. And that whole thing on Newsweek that he's the first gay president, that was really saying something. That was really saying something. And if you remember a former comedian by the name, deceased comedian by the name of Joan Rivers, and what she said about the Obamas, I can believe part of that, but I am not going to believe the part about Michelle. I just simply cannot do it. It is not in me to do it. I just can't do it. I just look and I don't see what people are saying when they call her big, a man's name. I'm not even going to say it because I don't really fall for that. I just can't. I see a woman. Now, Barack Hussein Obama, yeah, Newsweek was trying to tell us something when that whole page, that whole Newsweek magazine on the front cover came out, America's first gay president. And he's got the halo, like it's some kind of angelic thing to be. And all the things about former girlfriends, what they've said about Obama and this man that's rolling around, that's been around for years with the initials LS. I will not say his name, but Tucker Carlson did interview him, but I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to show you this clip from Michelle Obama and her brother, Craig Robinson's podcast, in my opinion, with the former president. And he says something astronomically crazy. And we got to talk about it.
Things that I just miss, right? So I don't even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me and I'm all like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, but we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay. Don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't let me start tearing up now.
And welcome to IMO.
Welcome to IMO. Get you all teared up. See, but this is why I can't talk. See, you can take the hard stuff, but when I start talking about the sweet stuff, you're like, stop, no, I can't do it.
I love it. I'm enjoying it.
So clearly this is an attempt to dismiss the divorce rumors, okay? Because when they first started coming out with the divorce rumors, the people out here spreading gossip, they took a picture of, I forget whose birthday it was. It might have been Michelle's birthday, where they were holding hands across the table and but she had on a head rag. I was like, why is she looking like this in these streets? Former First Lady. Oh, she was not looking her best. I got to be honest. I never voted for him, but I will say while he was in office, I remember standing in my family room looking at the TV going, I wonder if he would have married Michelle if he was not wanting to get into politics. I do remember having that thought. Something about it did not feel genuine. And I just don't buy. I think, in my opinion, this was a political marriage, because God does give us discernment, okay? Not just to me, but a lot of people. And I sensed it. Other people had to have sensed it. I wasn't the only one. It was like, wait a minute, something's off here. Something's really, really off. But I want to get to the point. I know you're like, Linda B, you're supposed to show us what he said. What are you talking? Okay, let me get to the point. This is what he said that really got people like, oh my gosh.
Haven't watched yet, which it gets into sort of the misogyny that young boys are exposed to,
and the online,
the manosphere.
They're getting their parenting.
They're getting their
online.
parenting.
They're getting their notions of manhood from extreme
extremists.
Yeah, extremists.
And there were a bunch of different kinds of men. There were men that were kind of soft-spoken, and then there were men that were loud, and there were men who were engineers, and then there were men who were police officers, or they drove a jitney cab.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy,
one dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is, he can't be
like
everything.
he can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right. So that I think is creating that community. I know it's corny, but that's what they need.
So we got to look at what was said. Okay. So they're talking about boys growing up, being exposed to extremists. On the left, they want to call real men toxic. Okay, they have this thing called toxic masculinity if you are an alpha male. I'm pretty sure they feel that way about President Donald J. Trump, Pete Hegseth, Tom Homan, and others who exude true masculinity. And I find true masculinity, might I say, very sexy. I don't want to have question marks in my mind. I just don't really want to have that with someone that I am involved with, but I'm a married woman, but I'm just saying, I remember when I wasn't married, I was like, what? I don't want to have question marks, just saying. So when he was saying that men, little boys, Barack Obama was saying little boys need to be involved with or have exposure to all types of men. And then he brings up the example of him having a gay professor when he was in college, who was one of his favorite professors. Yes. And he said, yes, he did. And you say that he said that boys need that. And then he goes on to say, a boy that's gay or non-binary needs someone like that in their lives because they want to know that they're not alone in this. See, you can look at this a number of ways. Okay, they were talking about boys growing up needing different types of men. But something Barack Obama said, he said, a boy doesn't need just one dad. What? I mean, I try to pay attention to every little thing people are saying, because if you're not, you will miss it. He said a boy doesn't just need one dad. I know they were trying to say one type, but are you saying he needs two dads? I mean, that whole Chip and Joanna gangs thing where they had these two men who were supposedly married, and they had adopted two boys, because a lot of times, with the gay men couples, they adopt boys. I'm just saying. And that was an example. I'm just saying. I mean, what was Barack Obama saying? Okay, he is basically saying a lot of things. In my opinion, when he said one dad, and then I just did a video about Chip and Joanna gangs with that couple on there, these two men with their two sons, just keep that in mind. And then putting that together with what Barack Hussein Obama was saying, he's saying a boy doesn't need just one dad. Now you can say, Linda B, he was just talking about other men in the boys' lives. Yes, but could that have been a sneaky way? I'm just saying, a sneaky way of saying he needs more than one dad. Meaning you can have two dads in the home raising. I'm just saying, because they speak like that. And then they go into another part of it where, no, that's not what they were talking about. But it could be what they were talking about. I'm just saying, he actually said that. Okay. And then also they were talking about extremists. Because again, on the left, they feel like a masculine man, just really, just a man's man, like a real man, like an alpha male. They don't like that. They call that toxic. And then to bring up an example of having a gay professor in his life that was instrumental to him, that was one of his favorites. What is that saying? What is Obama trying to say about himself? Because right after he said that, there may be boys that are, gay or non-binary, and they need to know that they're not alone in this. What are you trying to say about yourself? I'm just saying, that is literally what he said. I mean, he's not saying it right out, but just listen. And we know what things that have come out about Barack Obama, former girlfriends, this man that's been around for years, initials LS, just saying. I'm just saying, because I'm looking at this, and then Newsweek had the nerve to just tell us way back in the day, and Joan Rivers, this man is gay. Is that what they're saying? I mean, that's their business. God is the judge of all things. Okay. But I'm just saying, a lot of people in the Black church were not happy with Barack once he did that in 2015 with the Marriage Equality Act in the month of June, which is how we got June being, Pride Month. But now it's Nuclear Family Month, in my opinion. I celebrate that. So in June, you're not going to see me with no rainbows. And then the rainbow flag from the left, it's got 6 colors, the basic one, but God's rainbow has 7 colors. Okay, I just want to let you guys know that. So what do you all think? What do you think Barack Hussein Obama was actually saying? Because he started off being just for traditional marriage, but he knew he couldn't just outright say that. Democrats go through the Black church, and Black people traditionally, we are opposed to that. We look at the Bible and we go, but they played that Black thing up so much. It's like your God, senses are fighting with this God of Blackness. And a lot of Black people they'll lift up the God of Blackness, even though they know what that man was about. And see, he didn't do it till after his second term had already started. So he was slick with it. He was in his second term, not the first term. He wouldn't have gotten those votes from Black folks. He knew what he was doing. You knew what you were doing. And for you to sit up there and say that all boys need these different kinds of men, and you insinuate that you bring up this whole scenario with you when you were in college, a gay professor that was one of your favorites. That's what he's saying. He's saying this toxic masculinity, what we on the right call true masculinity. And what I might add again, I find it very sexy. I'm just saying, they're using this as a way to offset. And see, if we get another demon red in office, and when I say offset, they're trying to say offset that toxic masculinity, put some soy boy in there, spread some soy over it, because we don't need true men. Y'all need to be softened up a little bit. Add a little soy sauce. That's what it's saying. I just can't with these people. We were duped. Black America, all of America, anyone who voted for Barack Obama, I did not, thank God, but I voted for some other folks I should not have. So I'm not claiming moral superiority. Please don't think that. We all make our mistakes. I've repented for voting for Hillary and Jim Crow Joe. I couldn't. Anyway, we got to know that we've been duped, America. The Democrats, to get another Democrat in office, you will get this agenda that they're pushing. That's what they're focused on. That's where the USAID money was going to. All of these these woke agendas all over the world. They literally, this is why a man that I know that I've met said the Democrat Party is the most evil institution in the history of the world. Because they're not just trying to do it here. They're trying to spread this everywhere. You remember when Kamala Harris went over to those African countries and said, you need to put this agenda in your laws, the gay agenda, allow gay marriage. And they said, no. They literally said, some things we just don't agree on. And the Kenyan president was like, no, there are other things that are more important to Kenyans. So there you have it. You guys tell me what you think about this whole thing with Barack Obama and that podcast. And I might say that one man said that Craig Robinson is the weirdest looking man, and he does have a different look to him. And I still believe Michelle Obama is a woman. I do. I don't see what people are talking about. I hear a woman. I don't see an Adam's apple. I mean, that's a woman. Y'all need to stop it. Now, Barack, now that marriage, I do believe was a political marriage. Just me. I mean, I sensed it years ago. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.